Like I always say, we are in the most cursed timeline possible because now it's just going to be a constant shame fest from Joe Biden supporters saying, "Oh, Bernie supporters are such bad people for not voting for Joe Biden, the guy who's basically the same as Donald Trump." So Michael Moore sent a tweet out that's very vanilla, very basic, very much common sense, basic mathematics. And it's funny that this kind of thing is actually that this is controversial now. It's pretty hilarious. But this is a Guardian piece. It's like an op-ed written. It says, "Dear Joe Biden, here's how you can earn our support." And it's just a bunch of like groups that are these youth groups. And by the way, I saw on Twitter like a ton of youth groups, whether it be DSA, Climate, Sunrise, all these different like chapters. They're like, we're not endorsing Joe Biden, so that's not a good look for the guy. But he just sends this out. He says, "Joe Biden cannot defeat Trump without young people. He lost their vote in nearly every primary. Not just the under 30 vote, but the under 40 vote too. And in a few places, the under 50s. Ignore this at your own peril. A letter to Joe from the youth of America." Now, if you remember, Michael Moore is actually the guy who predicted a Donald Trump victory back in 2016. So you would think that after like someone predicts something like that nobody was predicting, you would imagine that you'd be like, oh, maybe his prognostication is actually like a good thing to take, especially in the same arena that he was correct in. You know, like you can maybe not apply it to other stuff, but you're talking about a general election between two very similar candidates here, and three very similar candidates, I should say. Um, and dude, there is massive blowback to this tweet. This tweet has 20,000 favorites. There's like 11,000 responses to this. And if you don't know how Twitter works, in that scenario, it means that there's a ton of backlash going on. Now, there's just some of these. This guy is some, douchebag, never Trumper. He says, "You like to say you're from Flint, Michigan. The Flint area went nearly 2-1 for Biden." What does that have to do with the tweet up here? This is like random. That's like saying 2 plus 2 is 4, or a banana is yellow, or I don't know, a Nintendo Switch is red and blue. I don't understand. Like, what relation does that have to do with the youth vote and the fact that youths are not going to vote for Joe Biden unless he reaches out to them? I don't understand. And this whole thing, I even saw one where it's like someone, posting a picture. "Michael Moore sure is friendly with enemies of the United States." So weird. It's a picture of him and Julian Assange. Like, dude, there's like pictures of like all these Democratic people with like Harvey Weinstein and people like that, and it's just hilarious. Ah, yes, the voice of our nation's young adult, 65-year-old Michael Moore. Like, what does his age have to do with what he's saying? Like, especially when he's literally posting an article that's coming from, it's all of these different youth advocacy groups coming together writing this op-ed. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, you're the voice of youth voters. You're 65. Like, these people are so dumb, and this is why, like, I will be so happy. I will be so happy when he loses. Like, I'll be really excited. I'll be super, super excited. Um, and so it's just like, this is just ridiculous, man. It's absolutely insane. Um, there's such backlash now. I feel bad for Michael Moore, honestly. And this is why you had to give Michael Moore a lot of respect, is because he had a lot to lose from doing this, from being such an ardent Bernie supporter, because he was a hardcore Bernie guy, man. Shout out to Michael Moore for sure. But, man, he hardcore Bernie supporter. He has a lot to lose. His entire following mostly is just anti-Trumpers who are, the dummies that we just read now. I like to call them Blue MAGA, by the way, because they're the same. I remember when Joe Biden threatened to assault that worker, and then all the supporters like, "Yeah, that's what we need to defeat Donald Trump, bro. That's great." And then, you see their whole like return back to normal thing, literally no different from MAGA. It's the same thing, but just blue instead of red. That's it. This idea of like, oh, return to normal, which is like 60,000 people dying every year because they don't have health insurance, and like innocent like brown kids being bombed overseas. I don't want to go back to that normal. That's the same shit as MAGA. So these people, I like to call them Blue MAGA because that's exactly what they are. So I'll be happy when Biden loses. It's going to be great to watch these idiots. And, dude, if you're thinking of voting for Joe Biden, I mean, you're insane. At that point, that's just Stockholm Syndrome. They're literally punching you in the face repeatedly and telling you to vote for Joe Biden. And then as they're punching you in the face, you're like, okay, fine, I'm going to do it. Why would you do that? They're literally pretending we don't exist. These people are literally saying, "Oh, bro, I saw one tweet from one guy who was like, oh, fuck them kids. They don't even come out to vote." Okay, then they don't even acknowledge our existence. So the only way to show them we're not going to get in line, get on our knees, and just vote for you is to not vote for them. That's how you do it. Show them. You know, remember that Lawrence O'Donnell clip that I showed you guys, or you've seen? I don't know if I've put it in a video. He explains that when he was in the Democratic Party, he didn't have to cater to the progressives because they had nowhere to go. So don't vote for the Democrat. Vote Green or someone else, or just don't vote for any of the candidates. You know, don't vote for Biden or Trump. But that's what you have to do. I mean, these people, they're literally not acknowledging your existence. And that's the craziest thing ever. So they're pretending like we don't exist. If you're thinking of voting for Joe Biden, you're insane, and you're actually at fault for perpetuating this cycle. It's your fault. You're the one doing it. You're the one getting socked in the face repeatedly and be like, yeah, I'm going to go vote for Joe Biden. Why would you do that? That's Stockholm Syndrome, bro. But I feel bad for Michael Moore.